Hello children. In previous already we have completed the two chapters. In those two chapters we have studied about the matter. We know that matter is made up of atoms and molecules. Okay, in this chapter we are going to learn how atoms and molecules are represented and how they are defined. Okay, now we will start new chapter, that is third chapter, atoms and molecules. Okay, an Indian philosopher, Maharishi Kannada, he divided the matter continuously. Okay, he divided the matter continuously, and finally on continuous dividing the matter, finally he got the smaller and smaller particles. Okay, he got the smaller and smaller particles. If you take any matter, okay, if you go on dividing that matter, you will also get the smaller and smaller particles at the end. Okay, same in the same way, when this philosopher divided the matter or padarth, okay, when he got the smaller and smaller particles, these smaller particles are indivisible and they are said to be paramanu. Okay, when he divided the matter continuously and he got the smaller and smaller indivisible particles. Okay, indivisible, they cannot be further divided. Okay, they cannot be divided, and these smaller indivisible particles are known as paramanu. Okay, next came another ancient Greek philosopher. Okay, philosophers Democritus and Lysippus. Okay, they also did the same, and they divided the matter until they get the indivisible smaller particles, and they named these smaller indivisible particles as atoms. Atoms means indivisible, they cannot be further divided. Okay, but by the end of 18th century, scientists recognized the difference between elements and compounds. Okay, they have recognized the difference between elements and compounds, and they given different laws to explain it. Okay, Antony L. Lavoisier, he was the scientist, and he laid the foundation of chemical science by establishing the laws of chemical combination. Okay, this scientist Antony Lavoisier, he laid the foundation of chemical science by establishing the laws of chemical combination. Okay, on the basis of his experiment observations, he given the laws of chemical combination, and he was known as father of modern chemistry. Let us see the laws of chemical combination. Okay, based on experimental observation. Okay, based on his experimental observation, he given the laws of chemical combination. There are two laws of chemical combination. First one is law of conservation of mass, and second one is law of constant proportion or definite composition. Let us see the law of conservation of mass. Mass is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Okay, in a chemical reaction, the reactants involved, okay, the mass of the reactants involved is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Okay, after and before the chemical reaction. Okay, before and after the chemical reaction, the mass of the reactants and products remains equal. Okay, the mass, or we can also state this law in another words, the mass of the reactants must be equal to the mass of the products. So we will understand this law with the help of an activity. See here. This is the conical flask. Okay, this is the conical flask, and this conical flask is filled with the barium sulfate solution. Okay, 5% barium sulfate solution is taken inside this conical flask. See here, children, this is the conical flask, and inside this conical flask we have taken 5% barium sulfate solution. Okay, and in another ignition tube, okay, this is the small ignition tube. Inside this ignition tube we have taken 5% of sodium sulfate solution. Okay, sodium sulfate solution. Wait, note this is not barium sulfate, actually this is barium chloride. Okay, we have taken barium chloride inside the conical flask, and inside this small ignition tube we have taken sodium sulfate solution. Okay, and this ignition tube is placed inside this conical flask, and this mouth of the conical flask is closed with the help of cork. Okay, so here ignition tube is placed in such a way that the content or the solution the sodium sulfate solution present inside this ignition tube should not mix with this solution, that is barium chloride solution present in the conical flask. Okay, when we place these two solution like this, after placing we have to weigh this mass of entire conical flask, and we have to note on the weight of this conical flask. Okay, after weighing we have to tilt this ignition tube so that some sodium sulfate solution should fall into this conical flask which is having the barium chloride solution. Okay, when this sodium sulfate solution which is present in the ignition tube falls into the conical flask having the barium chloride, okay, this sodium sulfate and barium chloride, okay, they react, okay, they react and they gives barium sulfate and sodium chloride. Okay, when this solution present in the ignition tube falls into the conical flask having another solution, that is barium chloride solution. Okay, when these two solutions mix, they will undergo chemical reaction. Okay, after some time again we have to weigh the weight of this whole conical flask. Okay, we after weighing we have to find out the difference in their weights. Okay, we will find zero difference. Okay, the mass of the conical flask remains as it is. That is, from this activity we can conclude that before and after the chemical reaction, the mass of the substances which are involved in the chemical reaction does not undergo any changes. The mass of the chemical substances remains as it is. There is no change in the mass. Therefore, the law of mass of conservation states that mass of a substance neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. It remains as it is. Okay, next we will see the second law, that is law of constant proportions or definite composition. Okay, this law states that in a pure chemical substance, in a pure chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportions by mass. Okay, let us understand this statement with the help of examples. Let us see this example. Water, usually chemical formula, that is molecular formula of the water is, chemical formula of the water is H2O. Okay, its mass is 9 gram. Okay, see here, when it undergoes decomposition, it forms, okay, it gives hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, see here, actually in this water molecule, okay, in this water molecule, 2 hydrogen atoms are there, 1 oxygen is there. Okay, if we see the ratio of hydrogen and oxygen, okay, see here, 2 hydrogen atoms are there and 1 oxygen is there. Atomic mass of the hydrogen, okay, is 1. Okay, so here, since here 2 hydrogens are there, therefore 2 into 1, so here it becomes 2. Okay, but the oxygen, atomic mass of the oxygen is 16. Okay, therefore the mass of the ratio of mass of this hydrogen and oxygen is 2:16. Okay, here we are taking 2 because in water molecule 2 hydrogen atoms are there, but atomic mass of the hydrogen is 1. Since here 2 hydrogen atoms are there, we have to multiply by 2, so we'll get the 2. So mass ratio of the hydrogen and oxygen is 2:16. Atomic mass of the oxygen is 16. So it can be this, we can also write like this, 1:8. So here in water molecule, hydrogen and oxygen combines in the ratio 1:8. Okay, next we will see another example, ammonia. Okay, here nitrogen, okay, nitrogen reacts with the hydrogen gas and it forms the ammonia. Usually NH3 is the chemical formula of ammonia. In ammonia, 1 nitrogen and 3 hydrogen atoms are there. Here 1 nitrogen combines with 3 hydrogen atoms to form the ammonia molecule. So see here, if we see the ratio, here nitrogen, atomic mass of the nitrogen is 14 and that of the hydrogen, we know that hydrogen, atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, but in ammonia 3 hydrogen atoms are there, therefore we are multiplying by 3, so we'll get 3. So here in ammonia, hydrogen and nitrogen or nitrogen and hydrogen combines in the ratio 14:3. Okay, like this, here the ratio or proportion of the atoms combined is fixed or it is definite. Okay, that's what this second law says. In a pure chemical substance, the elements are always present in definite proportions by mass. Okay, this is what second law. Okay, this is the law of constant proportions or definite composition. Okay, in next class we will see Dalton's atomic theory.